Oh, yep, there we are. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Coach Cruise, and we have funnel heads with us today. We have Andrew and Michelle with us, and we're going to be talking about the Venezia primarily, but there's a whole bunch of other things to talk about. Um, Andrew and Michelle, they're about to hit 5,000 subscribers. We just hit 7,500 subscribers. We had a goal of hitting that July 2nd, and we did it by June 30th. So thank you all for any new subscribers out there. Thank you so much for that. And and then prior to the Venezia, we got off the horizon. You guys were on the Marigalia.
Is that Marigalia? Yeah. So we got a lot to discuss for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And then later this month, I will be getting on my first ever Journeys cruise, and I will be Australia to Singapore on the Carnival Splendor. So all kinds of cruise stuff going on. I see we got a bunch of people checked in already. We got Zoe here next to me, and it's time for the sail away party here. So anchors up and. All right, let's say hi to everybody that's here so far who's checked in, and there are a bunch of you, so it's going to take a minute. We got admins, Tim and Aaron winning gold and silver there, and then Funnel Heads themselves got the bronze today, checking in. Uncle Dave was right there behind. What's going on, Uncle Dave? We got Greg and Michelle from Cruise Life TV. Always great to see you too. Sandy the Lost Pirate Jenkins as same great to see you as always. We got Ken here, great to see you, Ken. Frankie Floyd is back once again, great to see you, Frankie. And I'll say it's great to be back in the studio. I mean, preferably to be on a cruise ship, but it is nice to get back in the office here and see everybody in the normal setting here. Kimberly Lavelle says, hello, Coach, CCA, CLTV, and Funnel Heads and everyone. So hello, Kimberly. We have Michael Allen here as well. We have Cheryl. Cheryl is here. Great to see you, Cheryl. Party on the Sea is here. What is going on, Party on the Sea? Carnival Cruise Addicts, Liz and Chris says, hey, Coach, and Andrew and Michelle.
Hey guys.
We got Sean. Sean gave me a really great compliment on one of the videos the other day, and I appreciate that, Sean, and welcome back to the show. And look at that. We got Frankie Floyd giving us a super sticker. Let's get that up here. And Frankie Floyd, from carrying over from the last time we were in the office here, that makes you numbers 21 through 25. Michelle is 1 through 10. Tim G is 11 through 20, and Frankie Floyd 21 through 25. So hopefully we give a shirt away today, and that would be great. So that's where we're at right now. Zoe, come here. Zoe. So Zoe's here next to me. For anybody new to the show, if anybody does a $10 super chat, Zoe gets one of these little treats she really likes. Until then, I just hold her off with little hot dog bites. And look at that. Without any more ado, we got Aaron jumping in here because Zoe is clearly ready for one. So let's get Aaron on the board here. And that makes you 26 through 45. And that means I'm doing a shot. So if it's a $15 or more, she gets a treat and I get a shot. So I will do a shot. So high five for Aaron. Yes. There is your treat. Okay. So we have Buffalo Trace, which is a good bourbon. It's one of my, I got to show you all this bottle I got today. I'm so proud of it. I way overpaid for it, I think, because I've never heard of the bourbon. But when you see the bottle, you'll understand why I way overpaid for it. So, Aaron, thank you so much. You can't see it. Oh, wait, you can just see the little top. But check this out. I gotta find a little table or something.
Oh, that's awesome.
Look at my little bulldog.
You didn't
Look at my little bulldog.
You did not overpay.
It was like $100, but it has bourbon in it. It has bourbon in it.
So cool.
I love
That's
that.
what I was saying. I'm like, it's like too perfect. I'm like, what's it cost? It doesn't matter. I have to have it. So I put it back here somewhere.
Oh, it's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I got this little chest. Let's see if he'll stand on here.
Oh yeah, so you can see it.
Yeah.
That's
There we
amazing. Yeah, it's right in the
That's
picture.
awesome.
I just hope I don't knock it over now.
Yeah.
There we go. So I'm pumped about my little dog there. So
Yeah.
what else are we pumped about? Are we pumped about the Venezia? You two were on the Venezia the week before I got on. What were your thoughts of the Venezia?
We had a lot of thoughts. I mean, so it was a little bit different cruise for us because we did cruise with our really close friends that we actually met on the cruise on the Freedom in 2009. We've vacationed and cruised with them ever since. We try to get together at least 2 or 3 times a year. So this was the big trip, though, 8 nights with them and had all the kids. So it was a little bit more relaxing than usually because we're all over the place on cruise ships, videoing and, interacting and everything. And this was more just catching up and like listening to great music and just having a good time. There was a lot of good, but there was also a little not so good on the Venezia. I know that you experienced some of this as well. I guess we'll start off with some of the not so good, or what do you want to start with?
Supposed to start with positive, the not so favorite, end on a positive.
Okay.
That's how you're supposed to do it.
The best thing about the ship is the cruise director, MarQ, hands down, is I think one of our new favorites as cruise directors. I mean, so personable, so funny. I don't know if you got the chance to see his little like trivia deck party show. That was outstanding. I mean, we probably talked to him for way too long, but every time we talked to him, we were like, we don't want to keep you. Go get sleep, go rest, go interact with somebody else. Like, we didn't want to take up his time because we know it's so important. But he was just like, listen, what did he kept saying to you? He was like, girl, if I didn't want to talk to you, I'd find something else or something. He was like, you would know if I didn't want to, keep talking to you. So he was I felt like he was just hanging out with us as friends towards the end of the cruise. So he was by far the highlight of the cruise. And I mean, that's probably one thing that we love more than anything. So,
I mean, I agree with you on that. And obviously I had just an amazing interview with him. I had so much fun in that interview. And like, it was genuinely fun. Like,
yes.
His responses to questions and stuff, for those of you that haven't seen the video yet or my interview with Mark, I mean, you're going to hear me laughing and, all of that was just natural. I mean, it just funny. And I mean, his personality is just so vibrant and genuine and everything. And clearly, and I mentioned in the interview as well, obviously Carnival sees that because, it was Lee with the, Carnival's the celebration, and then it was MarQ with the Venezia, and then we had Jubilee with Kendall, and then her man got the Firenze. So those were the 4 rollouts for inaugurals, and MarQ is definitely deserving. One thing interesting, we talked about this before, Andrew. He said, I don't know whether it was in that interview or somewhere else, but he said that they had asked him to be a cruise director on one of the XL class ships like 5 different times. He said no.
Yeah, there is a lot of the cruise directors that don't want the XL class. I mean, we talked to him, and also Donkey we talked to, and he had no interest in the XL because it's a lot more work. And I don't know if they get paid a little bit more money for the XL, but it's not enough. I would imagine there is a little bit of a bump, but there's so much going on. There's so many more activities, and it's just too much. And I think, Cookie got burnt out. I don't know if he wanted to go on XL or not either, but there's a lot of them that are like dropping back or like, no, we're good with every other class except for the XL class. And I can't blame them at all. So,
yeah. That's definitely. And have you guys cruised with Jackie Tang yet?
So no, but both of our parents, or my parents have, and then our friends have. We've heard mixed things about him. I'm really interested of cruising with him, but I think our friend said he may have been sick though when they cruised with him, so they couldn't get a real good read on like how he would be normally. And then my parents are kind of low key, so they probably wouldn't interact with the cruise director that much or go to more of like the deck parties and stuff like that he would be involved with. So I've heard, again, good things, bad things, but we definitely want to get on a ship with him one day soon.
Yeah. I mean, I've mostly heard good things. I mean, but I didn't have any direct person that had gone with him, but it seems like, he's got a really good following and stuff. So that's just one of the upper cruise directors I haven't cruised with yet. Yeah. And one thing I'm excited about, I know we got Cruise Life TV on here today. They're going to be on the New Year's Eve cruise with me on the Vista. And just guess who is the cruise director for the Vista New Year's Eve?
Wait,
MarQ.
Are you going on Vista too for New Year's Eve?
For New Year's Eve, yeah.
Because we're trying to get on that ship too, because our friends want to get on that ship. So I don't know. We'll see. We gotta make some money quick, but
we'll have at least 3 content creators on there, because Cruise Life TV and myself, we already got our spot. So you guys just gotta find a spot, and we could do like a 3-way live or something like that.
Oh, it would be amazing. Yeah, awesome. It's a great itinerary too, because that's
why I booked it. The itinerary.
Yeah. Well, and it's it's 8 nights, which is always nicer to have that extra, night compared to the 7 or 6 nights. And again, this is nice, and then the itinerary is beautiful. So we're like, and MarQ is going to be on it, so we're like, we'll see. We'll see if we can make it work.
We're trying to figure it out. Trying to make it happen.
So the funny thing is too, speaking of the itinerary of the Vista, look at the Vista New Year's Eve for the following New Year's Eve. And it's an amazing itinerary too. So I already booked the following New Year's Eve, and it's just as good, if not better. I know Celebration Key is one of the destinations, but yeah, it's an amazing itinerary. I don't know why. It's like they handpicked the itinerary, but there's like every port is like awesome. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, pumped about that. But so we're we're both in agreement. MarQ is amazing. What next on the agenda for the Venezia?
Okay, so I guess we'll move to one not so good thing, and that was by far, it was the hottest ship that we have ever been on. You can tell it was made for the Chinese market, for maybe a little bit more milder temperatures. I think this ship would be amazing in like Alaska or like a Mediterranean cruise, but going to like, more like the Ireland, Scotland, Iceland, Wales, stuff like that, like we did on the Pride. It's just very covered. And even though they do have the retractable roof open quite a bit, the wind doesn't come inside the ship, especially in the middle. And honestly, the ceilings, like even when you were going in like near Guy's Burger and the buffet, and even at the deli, I mean, the ceiling is just dripping with humidity and condensation because it's so hot in the ship. So I love the ship, like as far as interior design goes, beautiful, very similar layout to Vista and Horizon and Panorama, but just having those like layers upon, not even above the Lido, but literally on the Lido, because you have all those cutaways of Rococo and Java Blue and this and that. I mean, it just, no air could get to you. It was weird. Like there's so much shade, but you're still so hot. So like, I don't know if you experienced that, but I was dying the whole time, and I don't really sweat all that much. So if I thought it was hot, it must have been insanely hot. So what's your thoughts though?
Well, I mean, I honestly think the week that you guys went, it was like super hot. And the week that I went, we went, it wasn't so bad. Like the temperature was a little bit more comfortable. So I think that might have had something to do with it, because I didn't notice that as much. But in response to your, the Lido deck and everything, I don't like the Lido deck on the Venezia. I know MarQ, mentioned this on our interview, and he's like, well, it's different, and it might not be for everybody, but it is what it is. And But the Java Blue up there and all the additional offerings and stuff like that, that was cool. I mean, that's the most extensive menu I've ever seen in a Java Blue cafe. Even on the XL class, I think it was bigger than even that. But yeah, I just, if you go up on the deck above, like deck 11, you can see like they have a running track that they extended all the way around, the Lido deck, because they made all that extra space by putting, all those extra shops like Rococo and Java Blue and everything. And then so that's why the Lido deck looks so small, where all of that would have been open air and just more of that open deck plan. It does seem like really choppy. I'll go on to another complaint I had. I actually have two that I thought were really bad. I've never been to a port that was worse for embarkation than New York. That was absolute worst.
Oh,
it was absolute.
Was the computers crashed or something on you guys though, right? Is that what sort of kind of happened?
It did, and that was the primary reason.
Okay.
Everything being backed up. But, I mean, you all have been to multiple different ports and everything. And it seems like the people that are working there, they kind of know, what's going on. Like if you have a question that is not related to them, they're like, oh, we need to go over here and you need to talk to this person and they'll be able to help you out or whatever. And they'll be able to point you in the right direction.
Yeah.
When I went in there, it's like, which line do we go in? Or, and it's like, I have to ask like 3 different questions before they can like figure it out. It's not like, oh, you're here or here, whatever. And it's like everybody that we seem to talk to seem to know what their job was, obviously. But if you said, oh, hey, where do I go for this? Or where do I go for that? Or where's the priority line? They're like, like clueless.
Right.
And the other thing is, I'm just, I did find out that the computer system was down or whatever. And I'm like, what if it doesn't come up?
Right.
Yeah. Well, it'll come up. Well, it did come up, but what if it didn't? Like, are we literally I mean, there was literally a line of 15, 20 port people to check people in, just standing there doing nothing, just waiting for and it seems to me like, what did they do before computers? I mean, obviously there was cruise ships before computers. Don't they have a backup plan? Like, okay, if the computer system goes down, this is how we manually do it. I mean, everything just came to a dead standstill. So if those computers, wouldn't have come back up for 3 hours, do you mean to tell me we're going to be standing there literally for 3 hours until the computer? So I had a problem with that, but I don't know. It was obviously yours must have been much smoother. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean, ours was pretty smooth. I mean, I would say that, so we've left from New York a handful of times. Even with Rhett, we've left there. Now, this is the 3rd time, but he was young when we did it the first 2. I mean, it was the latest check-in time that we've ever had, being priority and whatnot. Like, I always wake up at 12, the night before or whatever. So we always get the earliest time to board, and it wasn't until 11 to 11:30 on this cruise, which I was a little surprised because usually it's like 10 to 10:30, 10:30 to 11. And we were delayed just a little bit, maybe 30 minutes or so. But that was from what we were told anyway. Coast Guard just needed to do some type of inspection or whatever. So it took a little bit longer to clear the ship and all that good stuff. But I mean, other than that, it's always congested there just because, actually we were walking from Inc. 48 Hotel, which is like a block or 2 away from Pier 88. And so we had all of our luggage, little man, and, people are coming off the ship. People are trying to get on the ship. Nobody knows where to go. There's no signs for anything. So you're just trying to kind of guess. So we were walking around with our luggages, kind of getting to a dead end, and then oh no, we got to go back this way, and then nobody would open a path, so that got a little frustrating. But other than that, once we dropped our bags off, everything was fine, and we just had to wait a little bit, so wasn't the end of the world for us. But yeah, if we were stuck there like you guys with the system down, it would have been rough because again, we didn't have to wait a long time.
Yeah,
we had our friends. So.
Yeah. We kind of were like, oh yeah, it'll probably be about an hour, and it was. So We kind of, but yeah, if we waited for hours.
Yeah, that would be terrible. But
again, because bring up a good point. Like, what's the backup plan? Like, you just stop. That's kind of.
Well, yeah. Back then, you had the pamphlets that Carnival would mail to you, and you had all your paper documents, and you like take out the coupon and hand it. And
I don't remember any of that.
Yeah.
But I also don't handle any of the paperwork. Like, I just
get your printed luggage tags or whatever, or not printed, but like the physical luggage tags with like the drawstrings and all that. So yeah, it was a process back then too. But a lot less people.
We got a couple questions. I'll address this one because I feel like our answer is going to be the same on this. But Ben says, do you feel Carnival puts their newer and lesser performing workers on the smaller ships?
I would say newer. I wouldn't say lesser performing. And the reason why I say newer is just because even with the cruise directors, for instance, unless they're like fast pass because they're so talented, like they need to know the ships, they need to know the program, and from ship to ship they're very similar, but you got to learn the smallest to know the biggest. So it's like you start on the smaller ones and go from there. But at a certain point, it's up to the crew members where they want to go. They have not exactly, but they do have preferences. They can say it's kind of like the military. Like when I got out of job training, I was like, they said, "Oh, name 3 places you want to go, and we'll try to make it work." And and you always think it's going to be like the one you don't want to go to. Luckily, I lucked out with that. But they've got like basically preferences of where to go. So it's a little bit of both. But yeah, they got to learn the job and kind of go from there. But what are your thoughts, Brad?
Yeah, no, I think that. Especially with the new rollout ships, it seems like the all-star performers kind of get their choice of if they want to join one of those top performing ships. Like you do see a lot of the heavyweights going to, the celebrations, the jubilees, all that, especially with cruise directors, that's the case. But the workers per se, like I said, at the very top, I think that's the case. Like they're going to put the best of the best if they want to go. But then I think that's only like for the newest ships and everything else. All the rest of the ships, I think it's kind of, whatever.
Right.
But yeah, that would be just my opinion on that. So I'm pretty much in agreement with you there. But I wanted to point out the comment of the night here. Kim McKellen says, "Love your shirt." Talking about yours, Andrew. My daughter is 21 years St. Jude survivor.
That's awesome.
That is the comment of the night. I don't think anybody will be able to top that one.
No, not at all.
So, absolutely. That's great, Kim. And thank you for watching. So let's see. Cruise Life TV, it was so hot.
I did have to get the larger shirt, though. After 30 days of, 16 days of cruises and then another week and a half with my brother and her family, the small one medium one got a little tight. So I had to go with the large.
They shrink.
Yeah, that's all right. You can, it's not like you're overweight or anything. So Kevin is asking about the Vista. It's New Year's Eve, Kevin. So if that's the date that it starts, that's probably right.
So yes, it's something like that.
It's either the 27th or the 28th. I forget.
Bless Nettie, like Zoe. Well, thank you for eating all our hot dog bites. So I gotta ration them out now because I'm starting to run low. Michelle says from Cruise Life TV, I believe cruise lines put their top knots and tenured people in the new XL, and yeah, that's what we were just talking about. So we're in agreement on that, and I think we're caught up on the questions. So cool. Now, my next gripe about the Venezia, and I'm curious to see if you all had the same problem. I don't know whether did you have assigned dining or your time dining?
We had your time, but we had a large group too.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'll tell you what. We had a group of 2, myself included, and the first day of embarkation, I knew the dining room will open around 5:30 or whatever. It's like, okay, we haven't eaten all day. Put it in and boom, within 10 minutes. No problem. Every other night that we went to the main dining room, like I thought a couple of the nights was, oh, well, I just waited too late to check in, and everybody put in their request, and the wait time was like 100 minutes, like almost 2 hours to get a table, and I'm putting it in at like 6:30 or something like that. I'm like, wow. I'm like, that's the worst I've ever seen. And then that happened a second night, and I'm like, okay, we gotta put this thing in right away, like right when it hits 5:30, we got to put it in.
Yeah.
So then the next night, 5:30 comes around, and it's like, I hit it in, and it's still like 60 to 70 minute wait. I'm like, how could it be 60 to 7 minute wait? They just opened up. How could it be? So
there's people sitting at the table.
Yeah. I'm like, that was the worst. I mean, the food was fine when we finally did but it did seem like they were short staffed, when we did finally get at a table, it seems like they were trying to play catch up the whole night in the main dining room. And you almost felt bad because you could see it wasn't like there was anybody standing around doing nothing. I mean, they were trying to, service everybody and stuff like that. But yeah, it was just, the embarkation, like I said, was a mess. And then the main dining room, getting people in there in a timely manner was a mess that I hadn't experienced on other ships. So I don't know. I mean, how about you? What was your wait time like?
Yeah, so there was 8 of us. So we also did specialty dining twice on the ship.
Oh, that's right. We did do.
And then I think we skipped it.
Because
we did the Seafood Shack. So we actually did specialty dining 3 times on the ship. The other nights that we did go, because we were a big group, we were expecting that we were going to have to wait. Most of them weren't terrible. I would say like an hour was the wait. Oh, yeah, 100%.
I guess we kind of, I don't know.
But we were talking and drinking and stuff. But there was one night, which was Father's Day, and it was also formal night with just lobster. And that was a 210-minute wait when we like clicked it, which was like 6:15. Luckily, it wasn't 210 minutes.
It was 5:30. It was right when they opened.
Oh, was it?
It was right because we did the same thing. We're like, it's Father's Day, it's lobster night. Like
that's right.
As soon as we can, like everybody do what you need to do and be ready at 5:30.
Yeah.
Like get what.
So it was a huge wait. I think we ended up waiting like an hour and maybe 20 or 30 minutes for the table, which was obviously better than 210 minutes. But we were there. I mean, it was our whole night. We literally were waiting from 5:30. We get in the dining room a little after maybe 7:10, 7:20. Yeah. We were there until 9:53. So that was it. I mean, we all went to bed afterwards, and it was not a fun evening. I mean, we felt bad because our server got injured like twice. He had like a mark on his face, got burned. Like he literally came to the table and said, I'm exhausted. I've never heard a crew member say that in my entire life.
And then he came up to us another time. He's like, I'm just going to come over. He's like, because you guys are so nice to me. He's like, most of the tables are not. He's like, there's one that was apparently just like berating him. And we thought because he did. He showed up. He had like white spots all over his face. His eyes all red. We're like, are you okay? He's like, I just got hit with a plate of dishes. It's fine. He's like, I ran into somebody else. He's like,
we felt so bad. I mean, we're the type of people that, even if it's the worst case scenario, we're still, gonna make it the best situation possible. But I mean, we were with our friends, so it wasn't the end of the world. We felt bad for him and the rest of the staff because like he disappeared probably to take care of his face or whatever happened.
He's like,
and then we had
do your dinner.
Yeah.
We thought maybe he was like,
but then he came back.
Shipped off. No. Then he comes back and he's like holding ice on his hand. He's like, I got burned on my hand. And we're like, what in the world?
I was like, listen, let me grab the plates. I got this. You go to bed. We're good. But yeah, so that was a really bad night all around. But other than that, like you said, the food was good. The other nights, like once we got into the dining room, it was pretty quick, especially for 8. And, we're all ordering the appetizers, entrees, desserts, like, multiple dishes. So, I mean, other than that one night, that was really bad. But specialty dining, on the other hand, was really good. So I don't know.
Okay, what's your favorite specialty dining on the
So, okay, so we didn't do the steakhouse this time, but that's because we wanted to try the El Viago, or however you say it. Yeah.
The Italian?
And then we did bonsai, because we always do that. And then, seafood shack, which I absolutely love. I will say Il Viago, the Italian restaurant, we really enjoyed the food, the venue, the service. The portion size is out of control.
Yeah. It was way too much.
It was like I felt bad because I hate wasting food. The food was so much though.
Oh, we just lost him. Well, let's we'll just continue on. At least there's one of us still on here, so I'm sure they will come back on here shortly. But yeah, speaking of Viaggios, for those of you that are watching and scouting out and researching the Venezia, it was amazing. I know they were talking about the portion sizes being too big. If you love sea bass, I got that the first night that I went. I actually went twice, and the sea bass was fabulous, and it wasn't too big. Here they are. There we go. Now we got you back. I was trying to carry on. I was talking about ordering the sea bass at Viaggio, but yeah, continue with the portions. What did you all order that the portions were so big?
Okay, so of course you start with the bread. So we got out of control with the bread. Then we ordered the charcuterie board, which was like the additional $15 charge or whatever. That was fantastic.
Worth it.
Worth it. Pretty
get
large.
Get it for the table. Don't.
Then I got the burrata, which was literally like this big of just mozzarella and regatta, and like it was 2 pounds of cheese. Yeah, it was delicious, but by the time I put 2 pounds of cheese in me and bread and the charcuterie, which was more cheese, I was already done. Then I got the salad, which was again delicious. Ate all that. Then we got the what was it called?
We did the pizza. It's like a chicken crust pizza. It's not like a dough pizza, and it's for 2.
Mm-hmm.
But it's heavy.
It's basically a huge chicken breast formed into a pizza with dough underneath and cheese on top. And it's the heaviest thing that anyone could eat on the face of the earth. I think we had one slice each, and our friend had 1 slice, and he was like done after half of the slice. Like it was
sounds kind of amazing though.
It was really delicious.
Good. It was so good.
I felt so bad because you want to take it with you, but there's nowhere to really put it. The mini fridge is so big, and we had so much left over, and there's no way to heat it. So we ended up wasting it. And then I think she got what was it called? The huge.
I got the Mile High cake.
Mm-hmm.
Mile High.
The gelato. Oh my God, the Mile High gelato pie.
Yes.
I would go there just for that. I swear.
It was delicious.
It was so good. But it was
at the end of a meal, you're always like, oh, I could fit I'm so full, but I could fit dessert. No, you couldn't fit dessert at this place. It's crazy.
Well, and let me just say hi to a couple people.
Yeah.
Like we got Kevin. I think Bless Nettie. I'm not sure if I mentioned you. I did mention Kim that one comment there. Then we had Kevin B. I think you came in a little bit later there. Will G has just checked in. Z has checked in. So hello to all of you. And if there's anybody else that has not checked in yet, or if I have failed to mention you, please post in the comments and I will hit you up. Also, I wanted to remind everybody, I said this at the beginning of the show, Funnelheads is just about to hit 5,000 subscribers. I was hoping that could happen tonight. So if you haven't already subscribed to them, make sure you go over there and hit that subscribe button for them. Hit the like button for this show too, and we can get this broadcast out to more people, so potentially more new subscribers. And we got Seg here, Seg 183. Hey, Coach, and everyone. So thanks for checking in there, Seg. And so we were just talking about Viaggio's. That's a specialty restaurant on the Carnival Venezia. Now they got the double-sized portion thing, which is an option, for 2, and then paying the upgrade and everything. Now, I will say that we didn't order the same stuff, so the portions weren't out of control so much for us. I mean, the first night I got grilled octopus both nights. Went twice. And the grilled octopus was awesome. But for those of you that are grossed out or weirded out by tentacles or whatever, I mean, it was amazing to me, but I mean, I know that's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. And then there's another appetizer you can get that's a frito misa or something like that. It was basically like fried shrimp, fried calamari, fried, whatever else. But that was really good too. It came with a dip. And what else? The second night, what the heck did I get? But I got the gelato pie both times. I can promise you that.
Okay.
I need to start messing with Zoe, and she's like scratching at the door. I'm like, it's making all kinds of noise. But yeah, no, I mean, I love Viaggio's. I mean, we both did. We thought that was like one of the best meals we had on Carnival.
It was really good. If we go back, we'll do it a little differently. I would
know, like to not finish the mozzarella first thing because it's so good. Like I would bash it myself.
That was my downfall, 100%. I will say it is a little pricey compared to the steakhouse, though. Like, what's your thoughts on that? Because like the steakhouse is, like $10 or $15 more than the Italian.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought they were about the same. I forgot to check the price. I thought one was like 48 and the other one was like 43 or something. But but honestly, if Viaggio is $10 or $15 cheaper, I would go to Viaggio's for sure.
Yeah.
I love the steakhouse. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, for those people that if you're going on, I would try to do the steakhouse and Viaggio's if you can. But I mean, I had the intent of going to Viaggio's once, but then I went to the casino quite a bit, and so I got comped another meal. And
nice.
Do you want to do a steakhouse or Viaggio? I'm like, put me back at Viaggio again, because I've been to the steakhouse a lot of times on trips. So
it's nice to try a new venue too. Yeah. Like we can always go to the steakhouse on pretty much any ship except for the Elation and the Paradise.
Right. Yeah, so Seg says the Venezia is different, but had a great time. Yeah, and it is different, and you can definitely have a great time. And we got Lewis checking in. And Lewis, I am coming down to Miami tomorrow. So message me. Maybe we can hook up the night crew, Rod, Vicky, or whatever. They invited me down. So for 4th of July, going down to celebrate. So Lewis lives in that same city, Pembroke Pines. It's between Fort Lauderdale and Miami. And I've stayed at Lewis's place. And we've been together 2 different times now. So he's checking in. So good to see you, Lewis. And let's see. Yeah, Cruise Life TV, Miami tomorrow. Absolutely. Going to get in about 7 p.m. Miami time, and or actually Fort Lauderdale. I'm flying into Fort Lauderdale tomorrow. Yeah, and then the party's going to start. I'm going to enjoy Miami for 3 days, and then come back and start getting ready to go to Australia for the Carnival Splendor.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we talked about the Viaggio, and that's one of the different specialty dining things. So did you go to Guy's Burgers and try the different burger offerings that they had?
I did. So I went to Guy's Burger, but I only went there once on the entire cruise. Not that it wasn't good. I did have aspirations to try the new menu items. I couldn't do it. It was I think it was the last day that I finally had Guy's Burger, and I was like, just in case it's not good, let me get my tried and true, regular cheeseburger loaded up. And so I wanted to try the new ones, but I just didn't get a chance.
Let me tell you, it's a heart attack in a bun, but that pepperoni burger, whatever. So it's like a burger and then cheese and then like a square, like a mozzarella stick, but like a square mozzarella stick that covers the whole burger.
Oh, wow.
And they put pepperoni on top of that. And then I think they put more cheese or something on top of that too. And that's the standard. That's the standard serving. And then, marinara sauce is what they put on top of that. So, I mean, it was delicious, but it probably was like 1,200 calories just like that one burger. But it It was really, really good. That is the one time I went to Guys, and I'm like, well, I got to try this pepperoni burger. And there was another burger on there that's different that you can only get on the Venezia or the Italian themed ships. That was like a smoozer burger or something. I don't know.
Gotcha. Yeah. I would like, well, the line, even though it did go fast, but the line literally like wrapped around and then went inside of like the buffet area. So it was super long. So I was like, I don't want to like hold up the line. Let me just get what I like, and maybe I'll come back later. But it never happened. So.
Right.
The what is it, Tomodoro? The taco. I love the tacos, but the line was always insane. And I was like, I wasn't waiting in that line. So I never went. I got tacos one day, but I like the burrito side.
Yeah.
But the line always just not worth it.
Yeah.
Did you notice anything different the one time that you went, like menu-wise, at the Tomodoro or whatever?
There's options that you can get, but again, I don't think I.
There was it was like a chicken cutlet sandwich.
Yeah, it was like a Sicilian wrap, and there was a few other, like a meatball something.
But I know the guy. One of them, I was like, "Oh, what's that sandwich?" And he's like, "Nope, don't." He's like, "Nope, just don't." And I was like, all right. I don't know what it was about it. I think he said it was like avocado, but then it was like they pre-make them, so the avocado's been sitting there, so the avocado is just brown. And I didn't try it. I took his advice, and I just got the chicken tacos and fish tacos. But I never made it to the burrito side just because of the lines. Like, lines were easy for us.
Yeah, they were. I did see that, especially that Guy's burger line, especially the day of embarkation. I'm like, there's no way I'm getting this line. The day that I got the pizza burger or whatever that I got it, the line wasn't too bad. But we got North Shore Travelers checking in. Eric, North Shore Travelers, good to see you here. Scott from Controversial Cruising is also here.
What's up, Scott?
I think I got everybody so far, but if there's anybody that hasn't been mentioned yet, please post in the comments and we will point you out there. How about drinks? Did you try any new drinks that you couldn't get on other ships on the Venezia?
There was a couple that we did try. I'm struggling to remember their names.
The Frizzante Spritz I really liked. Yeah. I got that one quite a few times.
And then there was like a coconut water something that was near the gondola lounge. It was refreshing. I wouldn't have got it again, but I think Michelle.
I never did. I tried his and was like, yeah, I would get this, and then just you don't venture that way during the day.
And then in the gondola lounge, I got some limoncello and it was like kind of like a Moscow Mule, but with limoncello.
Food, we didn't try anything. Drinks,
it was very refreshing. That one I would have gotten again, but again, I can't remember the name of it. If I had the menu in front of me, I would know. But
so yeah, I tried the sangrias, both kinds of sangrias. Mm-hmm. The different espresso martinis. We spent a lot more time at Frizzante, as opposed to the Amari, yeah. It was just Frizzante was less crowded for us every night, and we really liked the bartenders there. Were really.
It was a nicer area. Well, not nicer area, but it was
less crowded. Always
it was bright there, less crowded. Amari was packed all the time, and there's never like a seat or a place to even get in to order a drink. So yeah, we were at Frizzante quite a bit, but also the gondola lounge we'd stop in, and then the bar near Ocean Plaza, whatever that area is called.
That's where they had the sangria and the coconut water one.
Yeah. I wanted to try all the frozen machines. I'm not a frozen guy though, but they looked interesting. Like they had a pistachio daiquiri or something like that I was thinking about trying, which I should have because we had the Cheers package, but I never ordered it.
We didn't spend a lot of time at the main pool though either, just because it was so hot and uncomfortable and not really a lot of space up there. I mean,
no. Really, I mean, personally, I'm not like somebody that likes to lay out in the sun or whatever. So I mean, but it did seem too that there weren't as many places to lay out in the sun. So for all those people that like to lay out in the sun, I think the Venezia is going to be a little disappointing for you because it seems like they're catering to the people that like shade on Venezia much more so than they are, the people that love the sun. So what were there any other particular areas on the Venezia that you would want to talk about that you liked?
So we found ourselves at the aft pool quite a bit. Not only because there was a little bit of a breeze there most days, but on the Venezia, which I don't know another Carnival ship that had it, but it was actually live music on the aft pool. Usually it's like either faint music through the speakers or no music at all, which we like music.
I like music. I don't do well in silence at all.
Yeah, the one reason we don't really go to Serenity all that much is just because it's too quiet for us. Like we like to talk, interact. We're loud, especially when we're drinking. We like the music. So like the fact that they had a DJ, up above the pool was really cool. Like, people were line dancing on their own because, they might have had a drink or two or just having fun, and everybody was getting into it and everybody was interacting, laughing. So yeah, that was our spot. That was probably the best place on the ship, like during the day, if you're outside for sure. I mean, I don't think we were near the main pool like at all for the entire
during
cruise.
The day. I don't think at all.
Yeah.
We spent the first night out there, but that was it.
Yeah, but then that was like
embarkation day. We just kind of
caught up.
Yeah, and again, just sat in because it was a nice place to sit. And again, there was no wind, so it was cold leaving out of New York. It was kind of nice out there.
One other thing that I wanted to say about this ship is to get up to like the top decks is really confusing. I don't know if this happened to you at all. I mean, when I did my tour, which I still haven't even gone through any of the video, but like to get up to the water slides and down, and like there's I walked around the entire outer upper Lido, whatever that the sun deck is, and like it took me 2 times to try to figure out like how to get down, and I figured like I went to the aft and just went down there, but there's like one staircase in the arcade that like unless you literally went in the arcade and looked through the entire area, you wouldn't even know that staircase exists.
That was the best part though. He's like come back like we were on the aft of the ship. And he's trying to go over, and finally he's like, well, I had to go around. I couldn't find a stairwell. And Rhett's like, yeah, it's in the arcade. Like, really? You didn't see that stairwell?
But it's like in the corner. There's no sign. I'm like, where is it? Because I was like, there's no way there's a stair. And he's grabbing my hand. I'm like, all right, well, there's the stairwell.
No, I understand totally what you mean, because when I was doing the ship tour or whatever, I'm like, oh, there's a staircase here. Let's, but I didn't know where it was until I did the ship tour, and I was just walking around, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, here we're in the arcade now. And so, yeah, I know I totally get that. But I think the Venezia for people that aren't quite in the party mode, and you want more relaxation, you want more places to just chill, hang back, talk, hang out, relax, you're going to love the Venezia.
Yeah.
For those of you that are looking to just let loose and just let everything go and just party and everything, you're probably not going to like it as much. Not to say you can't still have a great time. It's just that it's not going to be the same vibe that you're used to on your traditional Carnival ship. So that would be my thing if you're looking to book the Venezia. But it is a beautiful ship. It really is very elegant. The atrium area is beautiful. If you go and look on any ship tour, you can see and just like, wow, that's really pretty and everything. So yeah, I mean, we had a great cruise. One thing I'll point out also, the Terrazza area is like the equivalent of the Havana area on the Vista class ships. Now, the Havana area on the Vista class ships, I don't think Carnival will ever produce an area that is more enjoyed by the people that visit those areas than Havana. I mean, it's like a social thing. It's like a semi-private. It's not private, obviously. Anybody booked in the Havana area, has access to that. But because it's not so many rooms, the pool is never really too crowded, and you kind of get to know people throughout. The Terrazza does not have a pool. It's got 2 hot tubs, but you know, if you're traveling and it's very hot out, you're probably not going to want to get in the hot tubs. But what it does have back there is it has a tremendous amount of relaxation areas. So if you're looking somewhere to escape, that terrazza area is just beautiful. And then I guess the bonus for people that aren't booked in the terrazza is after 7 p.m. you can go out there and enjoy it as well.
Yeah.
Which I know doesn't make the people that actually reserve those rooms happy.
No.
Not all, anyway, I didn't care, but you know, I know some people get upset about that because on the Havana, it's, you know, restricted, you know, 24/7. Like if you're not Havana, you can't go back there or they'll kick you out or whatever. So, so yeah, so that would be my thing for, let's see. Aaron says, this going back to the excitement on your face for Mile High Gelato Pie. Yes, all of our faces, you know, but not only our faces, but MarQ. If you look at my interview with cruise director MarQ, we talked about Viaggio at some segment in that interview, and his face blew up when we talked about Mile High Gelato Pie. So, I mean, if you're going to go to the Venezia and you love desserts, I mean, you're like, I don't even know what appetizers or entree you're going to order, but I know you're going to be happy with the Mile High Gelato Pie at the end of it. I know you're going to be happy with that. So.
Oh yeah, 100%. I got the cannolis though; they were really good as well. And then I just ate because Michelle had no
way I could finish it. Even Rhett got like an ice cream sandwich, I think is what they called it, but it was like the size of his head, and like it was mass. It was like the same as the Mile High Gelato Pie, but in a ice cream sandwich form. It was massive.
And this is kind of, well, talking about the Venezia, but not about the Venezia. But I guess maybe the Venezia is going to Bonaire. But Roger Calkins here says, thanks for the information on the golf cart rental in Bonaire. For anybody that's going to Bonaire out there watching, the golf cart rental, you go to Bonaire Cruisers on Google. And it's $100, but you get the golf cart all day. You don't have to pay for gas or anything. They are really slow. But I mean, I guess you're not in a hurry to get anywhere. But yeah, it is a great time. Actually, for those of you that have watched the channel recently, Aaron, right here, this Aaron, if you didn't know, that she was on that same cruise, and we did that together. And that was a lot of fun. We had an amazing time. It was super fun. So so yeah, that's definitely a thing to do if you go to Bonaire. I mean, the snorkeling and scuba diving in Bonaire is absolutely brilliant as well. So it's hard to not like Bonaire. So thank you for that comment, Roderick. And yeah, so scale of 1 to 10, what would you give the Venezia?
Ooh, that's hard.
I'd still say like a 7.
Yeah, 7's fair.
7, 8, 7.
I would say 7. 7's fair. It's not my favorite ship. I wouldn't look to do it again unless it moved itineraries.
Yeah.
It would be a great Alaska ship.
Yeah, that it would be like a 10 out of 10.
Yeah. A lot. I mean, we had a great time though.
We did.
But it's still one of my lower Carnival ships that, you know, if it had a great itinerary, I would look to go back on it. But other than that, I probably would choose another one. And I would also say I don't really have any interest of going on the Firenze after going on the Venezia because they're so similar, you know, just basically different interior design, but overall same thing. So, but again, we had a great time, great friends, great food. So, I
mean, I wouldn't not go again. Yeah. I would go again.
It comes down to the price, right? But yeah, we had a good time. What would you rate it on a 10?
I like that rating of 7. I mean, I enjoyed the ship. You know, it's a nice ship and everything. But I've been telling people that the Horizon is probably my favorite ship.
Yeah,
I agree.
And so if I'm going to give the Horizon a 10, then the Venezia, yeah. Even though it's the same Vista class type of layout, I mean, I don't like the boxiness. Yes. On the upper decks. And again, I'm not a party deck party person, you know, like I'm filming it, but I'm not out there enjoying it like a lot of other people. But I mean,
Like
I just like.
Listen, we're there for like 10 minutes and then we go to bed. It's fine.
We're 10 minutes, we're sweating, we're tired, we're like, God, we're old. And then we dip out.
Frog has a question here. Frog Wizard, was it worse than the Paradise? You guys have been on the Paradise recently. It's been so long, I couldn't even remember the Paradise.
So we were on the Elation recently. I haven't been on the Paradise since I was little, and Michelle hasn't been on the Paradise. So it is a ship that we're going to go on.
I want to go on
sooner rather than later. But I have heard not so great things about it, even compared to the Elation, which is the same class ship. So I can't really comment on that. I know the interior design of that ship is needs some work, to say the least. But yeah, so I'm not really sure on how it ranks there. But we'll know soon. We'll probably go on it in the next year, I would say, because we do want to try it out, and it's sort of kind of close to us. But I know you commented on our channel that you may have to look into MSC or another cruise line. Any thought or browsing there? Or
I mean, not anytime soon, just because I've gotten enough offers from Carnival to keep me satisfied and fill up my weeks of availability. So I'm pretty booked up with Carnival. And people always ask me like, well, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And I'm like, well, when I keep getting these $100 offers and cruising for under $1,000 and stuff like that, like how can I turn it down?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know Carnival Cruise Addicts, because they're big gamblers and stuff, they get all these great offers as well. And they're asking, but how is the casino? That is all that matters. And they're the ones that pointed out to me that on the Carnival Horizon, you can now bet sports gambling. That was one of I think I just put that video out yesterday. But yeah, they have kiosks now, but it wasn't on the Venezia, which I was disappointed about. The sports gambling wasn't an option, but I placed about 4 or 5 different bets on the kiosk, and it was great. I mean, well, partly because I won 3 or 4 of them, so I came out ahead on the sports betting, but,
right.
But as far as the casino goes, Carnival Cruise Addicts, I mean, I won money. So I guess that's the most important thing. And I got a lot of points. And the funny thing is I actually messaged Liz and Chris, Carnival Cruise Addicts, during the cruise. Mm-hmm. And I was all happy. Like, I was proud of myself. I'm like, I got 11,000 points. Like, I thought that was an insane amount of points.
They're like rookie.
They won?
You gotta watch those numbers.
Like, hold our beer. Like, we get like 30, 40,000 a cruise. I'm like, I thought I was doing something with my 11,000 points. Obviously, I'm still a rookie gambler.
That's hilarious.
The high roller Carnival Cruise Addicts, but
I will say the Venezia too. The casino was the smokiest casino we have ever been in. Like we smelled smoke everywhere on the ship, even in the non-smoking casino, which is right next to the smoking casino. And there's no door or anything, but like I used to smoke back in the military, so it doesn't bother me. But like there's times where I was just walking through the casino to get to the Hero Sports Bar or wherever else, and like my throat would hurt just from walking through it. So I don't know exactly why it's worse on that ship.
They had like a perfumey smell in there on top of it. Like,
and I think that made that worse.
It did. Yeah. I think they were trying to like mask the smoke smell, but it was awful.
Yeah.
It was
100%. I mean, it was bad.
It was terrible.
But otherwise, it's great. No, it was a good time.
Yeah, and they do have the non-smoking casino. It's tiny though.
It is small.
It's tiny, and you can, like I said, you still smell the smoke from the non-smoking.
That was my preferred area, but I don't gamble a lot at all. But that was my preferred.
It's tight in there. Though.
I mean, I'm like a micro gambler compared to even you.
Well,
like, I mean, that's 100 points.
I win like $100. I'm like, I'm done. I'm out. I won. I'm up.
Well, people, and that's a good point though, because people often ask, and Carnival Cruise Addicts, they'd probably be better about this, but they get so many points, it might be lost on them. But I think people ask me a lot, like, well, how do you get these casino offers? Like, how many points do you get? I know they offer you free drinks in the casino if you get up to like 1,500 points. I think it is.
Yeah,
So
it depends on the length of the cruise. Like if it's a shorter cruise, like 5 days, I think it's like 1,000 or something like that. So it's like it's depending on how long your cruise is. And then I just wish they had like here's the table, like this is how many points you need to get, and this is what you're gonna get. If I almost knocked that down, if you did that points, like kind of like Royal Caribbean does, or actually MSC does it as well. But Carnival's a little bit of a guessing game, so
yeah. So, well, I'll tell you what. I thought we might talk about more, but I think we covered the Venezia pretty extensively.
Yeah.
The Serenity deck we didn't talk about too much, but I mean it's a Serenity deck. They still have 2 hot tubs. The layout's a little different. They have a lot more foliage up there to make it look, a little fancier or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, how is it for kids? Since you guys all have red, what would he grade?
So
by comparison,
the slides he didn't go down on all because they were closed a lot of the cruise. I'm not exactly sure why, because it wasn't really that windy or anything, but there was really only one day the slides were open, so he didn't really get to do the slides or the splash area. He enjoyed camp. I mean, he didn't go as much as he usually does, but again, we were with friends who had a little bit older kids, so they had a little bit more flexibility. But I mean, he loved it just because he was with his friends. He loved the pools and the hot tubs. But I will say though, like, the Carnival's got to step up their game pool wise, because MSC, as far as the pool, resort style pools and the amount of hot tubs that are on those ships, they blow Carnival away. Like I love Carnival and everything about Carnival, but they've got to step up their pool game, especially on these larger ships where the pool is super small. Like I always thought going on Carnival so many times that it was like an engineering thing where they could only have a certain size pool. But no, I mean, MSC has like these Olympic style pools and lots of shallow space, lots of shade, like beds. So yeah, their next, I know they're doing the 2 XL class ships again, but their next like design, they've got to step it up in that regard.
You know what? And it's curious to see if they'll change the design on these 2 new XL class ships that are underway, because that's a great point. Because I mean, you do go to the ships, and so many times you'll see people just and I'll do that when I do enjoy the pool, which usually isn't more than 1 or 2 days of cruise. I mean, I'm like most of the other adults in there. You're just standing in there with a drink and just enjoying, taking a dip or whatever. It's not like you're swimming around or anything. But usually, even with that, it's just absolutely packed. When we're walking around on the bar crawl or something on the horizon, we went past the Tides pool and it was just packed, and it's not that big a pool. When you got 4,000 guests or whatever it is, you can't have 2 pools on the Lido deck that are small, And then you get the kids that overrun the hot tubs, and you look at the hot tubs and there's like 12 kids in there or something. And you're like, okay, I guess I'm not going to the hot tub, So I totally get it. But yeah, I agree with you on that. But look, that hour went like that.
So quick.
Absolutely. But again, let's get funnel heads to 5,000. That is a monumental milestone, definitely. So they're only probably 20 or 30 away now. So if you're not already subscribed, go check them out. If you're not subscribed to me, check me out too. Hit that subscribe button. But thank you all for joining us. And, those of you going on the Venezia, I hope this show helped you all out. And do you get anything you all want to add there? Or?
No, I mean, overall, I know we talked the decent about negatives and, about the Venezia, but it was definitely a nice ship. We enjoyed our time on it. And, I mean, I would just say move it to a cooler place. It would do so much good on the ship and for the people that are on board. I don't know what ship they would move to New York, but they have many ships that they can put there. So
the winter months, it's fine.
That's true. But other than that, we were on the Celebration in October. We're trying to get on the Vista with all of you guys.
We have to make it happen now. We've got to.
Yeah.
friends want to go, so I don't know. We'll see if we can do that, and then we have the World America for not the inaugural cruise because Michelle couldn't get off, but the second week of the World America. So
that'll be awesome.
Close enough.
And Seg just posted that they subbed you guys, so you're one closer to that 5,000.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
And then we got a bunch of people saying great show. North Shore Travelers, Roderick, Cruise Life TV, Kevin B, and Seg. So thank you all, and thank you everybody. Again that watched, and we'll see you all next week, next Tuesday. All right, take care, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.